So let's get started here. Let's go take a look at what we got going on here and start with the news. Now, we don't really have anything super specific with Kick news today, but we do have a couple different people talking about things on Kick and all that stuff, and we're gonna go take a read and take a look into it a little bit as well. But yeah, ultimately, there's really, again, Kick has been very silent for the most part, especially when it comes to development, Kick 2.0, all that stuff. It's been very silent, and all that stuff. So yeah, but guess what? What's up? It's a new signing, and Nick White. No, what up, Vods? So we have a little thing here. I know there's no audio in the transition and stuff. I still haven't fixed it yet. But here we go. So we have the Lumpy Potato put out a tweet there, said, "Tell me I'm wrong. At Kick streaming is for streamers to watch streamers. No long-term growth in that." And okay. So this is a little conversation here, and a bit of a debate here. I know a lot of people lately have been saying, "Oh, Kick is, streamers watching streamers." There's not really a lot of people who are non-streamers that watch on Kick. And although I will say that it is pretty decently true, there's also some instances that are not so much true. I mean, I know there's a decent amount of my community who does not live stream either, or they don't live stream during the time that I live stream. And I don't think that's actually that bad, because ultimately, what's wrong with kind of streamers watching other streamers? I mean, let's be honest. Imagine how many people who watch Summit 1G, for example, who are streamers as well. Maybe not full time, but they do live stream. Imagine how many of those there are. I'm sure that there's a good amount. I don't really think the streamers watching streamers. I understand where they're coming from and where the argument is here, but ultimately, I mean, if it's just, if they're not streaming when you're streaming, then they're a viewer, right? If they're watching you while they're streaming, then that's a different story. But who cares if they are a streamer or not? If they sit here and watch your channel and enjoy your channel when they're not live, they are a viewer to you. They're a viewer. What does it matter if they are a streamer or not? I don't see the point here, right? Your channel sucks. It does. It does. But guess what? There's still a couple people who watch it, even though my channel sucks. A lot of new people started streaming on Kick. Right. Yeah, a lot of new people started streaming on Kick, but a lot of those new people also learned from other streamers and other channels that have a bit of a following or something like that, right? But then we had a response here from Dad Mode Gaming. He says, "I was on Kick when it began. I was on Kick when it began, the reality from the inside out. The concept of Kick is amazing and could have been a top contender for a streaming platform. However, the beginning of Kick was great. In it was great in it. Well, it was positive, supportive, and a good vibe and time for all. Over the months, staff picked favorites and boosted the site, including using bots to double the viewership, even though it was not real." Okay, we're going to go through it and read this, but yeah. Fast forward, they got called out for the bots and stopped. Everyone's viewership tanked, and most realized Kick was majority greedy creators chasing whoever donated the most. Okay. Now we have a site that's been failing for months, and the staff and streamers who bleed green still act like nothing's wrong, even when no viewership will go back to Kick due to no accountability. Okay. The reality is Kick is dying because of Eddie and his staff and nothing else. He's known for financially supporting all creators who have been exposed for illegal activity or luring youth. The platform is completely immoral, and Eddie and his team absolutely destroyed Aiden and Trainwreck's dream. Okay, we're gonna read, and then we're gonna go back through, and we're gonna break this down. Viewership is at an all-time low, yet Eddie, the CEO, is taunting on socials about 1 billion minutes watched on Kick. Meanwhile, he won't admit that since the very beginning. Since the beginning of Kick. Oh my god, the grammar sometimes. Holy cow. Okay. Kick can't accept its own reality, and neither can its creators. It's why we have seen a mass exodus of streamers on Kick, and viewership continues to fall as streamers are basically the only ones watching it in hopes of support for support. Kick has ads out to promote the platform. Viewership is so bad, and illogically, they picked creators who are immoral and have been exposed. One partnered female was exposed for attacking her ex by making false abuse claims and statements, and having all of her Kick partners collude to try and destroy him. Thankfully, he's still rocking hard as a streamer, but for real, Kick is a complete joke, but I don't feel bad for any creators still acting like it's the best platform in the world. Can't wait to watch them realize Kick can't float, and a bunch of laughing emojis. Now, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I had a hard time reading that. There's a lot of grammar issues. But before we break that down, let's go back here. Let's go back here a little bit and talk about this. So we have Bangleaf here. Bangleaf's been on Kick for quite a while and very expressive and stuff like that. And I responded, "It's so depressing how right you are about this." And he responded with facts. This guy wrote a whole essay here. So I give him props. So he wrote a whole essay. I'll give him props on that. Facts. I honestly wish I wasn't. I loved Kick. I love its potential, but I know business well, and I've been in this industry for ages and watched platforms come and go, and learning as many do's and don'ts as possible. I've gotten very good at trying to keep an open mind and look at the big picture and not just false hope. Kit could still turn it around, and I truly pray they do. However, with Eddie and the current staff, I don't see it happening, as they have been very proud of the failing platform they are running into the ground, and the manipulative, disingenuous post, like hyping a billion watch hours. Meanwhile, that since Kick launch, they ignored that viewership over 6 months is at an all-time low, or that all of those watch hours majority belong to 5 creators out of the entire platform. Last summer, Aiden Ross already accounted for over 12% of minutes watched on Kick alone. All they have to do is have accountability for their own actions and their partners and vetted, verified users, and they refuse to. And unfortunately for Kick streamers and the community, genuine viewership don't get down with that and refuse to even look at Kick because of it. I and many others have had nothing but success since opening our eyes and ending our focus on Kick. Okay. Okay, thank you. So yeah, that was the main the main thing. Wait, what do we got here? This is so well said and completely accurate. I wish it was not the truth, truly, because Kick has potential, but not the way it's being led. It sucks because there are some absolutely amazing creators still on the platform that just can't seem to accept it all yet, and the success has gone to their heads. What selling point is our platform? Our platform is losing viewership, but if you bring all of your communities to Kick, we will pay you a little bit. I'll stick to TikTok and make you money from ads and keep giving back to my community, not milk them for subs to make a few bucks an hour. Okay. I'm glad as accepted reality for streaming, Rumble came through with the offer for their creator program, and I've been enjoying it so far. Still a long way to go, but we will see. Rumble? What the heck is going on with Rumble, man? What? Huh? Okay, I don't know what this Rumble program is, but okay. Sure. I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm curious what the Rumble. Does anybody have any like links to the Rumble creator program? I'm interested to look in though, see what the heck that is, right? See what that is. I can't even yeah, I don't know. A quick Google search doesn't pop up. But anyways,
let's get ready to
okay.
rumble!
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. All right, let me catch up in the chat here a little bit, and then we're gonna go back and we're gonna break this down. Okay, we're gonna break this down a little bit. All right. Yeah, they stopped. All right, Clueless. This story needs more dragons, bro. Well, Eddie is one of the best people on here. What you mean? Aiden and Trainwreck's dream. Little Aiden's dream is to make money, nothing more. Eddie is based. Does that 1 billion figure include the bots or not? Feel like this guy was hired by Twitch. I don't trust a word that comes out of his mouth. I hope he's seeing this right now. Sounds like a hater to me. I saw a guy gift 7.4K in subs to a streamer in a bikini. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, is he wrong, though? Maybe a little unhinged, but there are some interesting points. He's not wrong, though a bit long-winded. All right, very long-winded. He ain't wrong completely, but he's mad he didn't succeed on Kick. It's obvious. Okay. I know one dude on Rumble and never heard of a creator program, but I do hear it's doing decently. I think Rumble's a joke, and here's why. Rumble's original idea was to compete against YouTube, right? YouTube videos, and that was Rumble's like original goal. Then Kick streaming came out, and then Rumble changed their whole idea to start pushing live streaming, and they just have nothing that really makes live stream beneficial on there. It just, the UI, everything, it's just garbage. They really fumbled the bag. They should have just stuck with being a competitor to YouTube, and they would have been fine. I actually really liked it, but then when I tried to contact support, and it took them half a month to get back to me and then ignore me. Okay. But anyways, let's go ahead. We're talking about Kick here. We're talking about Kick here a little bit, and let's break this down from the start. Okay. I was on Kick when it began. The reality from the inside out. I have no idea what this means, but I'm assuming he means like he was on Kick when it began. And I don't know what this means. I have no idea. But I was on Kick when it began. Okay. When is it began? Because here's the thing. Trainwrecks announced the platform on December 5th of 2022. And I mean, sometimes you have people who join in like August that are like, I've been on Kick since it began. Okay. Yeah. I don't know about that one, Chief. He means in all reality, I was there from the beginning. Oh, okay. Okay. So in all reality, I was there from the beginning. And then, okay, interesting. The concept of Kick is amazing and could have been a top contender for a streaming platform, which I agree. However, he says could as in past tense, as if its time's already over, which can still make a pretty good comeback. There's a couple different things here. However, the beginning of Kick was great. It was positive, supportive, and a good vibe and time for all. And I will say, although there was some toxicity, very early on and stuff, and a lot of crazy things, there was a lot of good things, especially when it came to communication with the staff and hearing a whole lot of mainly stuff with the staff and talking, and it was all pretty chilled. But depending on what the beginning of Kick he's classifying as here, again, if you're talking after the Trainwrecks announcement, there was a lot of bad stuff going on. But ultimately, people were so spread out. So it was so widespread that it wasn't very, focused like it is nowadays. Nowadays, it's a lot more focused. There's not as many streamers. A lot of the trolls have been to pretty much every single big quote unquote streamer. So, okay. But anyways, I agree. Very early on Kick was really, really nice. Now it's kind of gotten a little silent, little bit weird. Okay, but let's continue. Over the months, staff picked favorites and boosted. First of all, over the months, staff picked favorites, ultimately, I mean, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. If you try to release a program at all, you're going to need some testers, which is going to end up being you're going to pick favorites. How can you avoid that, right? How can you either release a brand new program all at once to the public for them to find some crazy issues, or you have to choose some way. And how do you choose? You just RNG pick across the entire platform, or how? So ultimately, this is going to happen. I don't know of any solution to avoid it. Um, I don't know. I don't know how you avoid this. Okay, but anyways, he goes on to say this next thing. And boosted the site, including using bots to double the viewership, even though it was not real. So here he's accusing Kick of botting the website and view botting their own website to make it look more popular than it actually is. Now, what I will say about this is ultimately, I've heard this a lot. I know a lot of people have said this, but we don't actually have any, you know, crazy proof that Kick is the one that's doing it, right? We don't know. I mean, we could say that they're potentially doing it, but we don't know. I mean, there definitely is some shady things that Kick does that doesn't help the idea that Kick doesn't bot their own website a little bit, including the very hated idea by them to what is it, the very hated idea of them to you know, they don't want to add viewer lists. They feel like viewer lists aren't really important to the platform, and a bunch of other different things that they want you as the viewer to decide if they're view botting. And if they are view botting, then they recommend just don't watch them if they're view botting, rather than them actually doing something about it. Instead, the only thing that they do about it is you won't get verified. They'll deny you for verification, and they'll deny you from getting into the creator incentive program. Okay, that's the only thing that they'll actually do about it. Otherwise, I mean, you're I mean, I gotta be honest, you're kind of free to go. They don't do anything about it. And it goes back on, they don't know if it's actually you view botting yourself or somebody view botting you. But again, there's other things that you could do that don't have to include banning or something like that. So it's really weird. But at the end of the day, the only thing that I'm saying about this is, again, we don't know. I know a lot of people are saying that, oh, Kick did this, Kick is view botting themselves. And that we don't really know if it's Kick, but it is safe to assume there are a lot of bots on Kick. I mean, there's a ton, man. There's a ton. There's one botting group that makes up over 2.5 million accounts. They make safely to assume they make over $4,000 a month on view bots by selling view bots on Kick, right? There's a lot. There's a lot. Staff didn't do it. People just found exploits. They open tabs to troll small streamers. I kind of say clear of those that use OG card, in my opinion. Honestly, a lot of folks thought that in the beginning. I'm a bot. Yeah, all you guys in the chat are bots. Every platform picks favorites, unfortunately. Yeah, there will always be favorites, but I think he means it's obvious who the favorites are. I mean, it's obvious who the favorites are on like Twitch too, right? I mean, of course. There's no proof, of course, but they could have easily implemented the IP filtering, which they choose to ignore. Yeah. I know that the guy who sells view bots, the bots are set up in a way that like every single one of them has a different IP. So they're not all on the exact same IP address. They all have their own. How do you bot yourself? Asking for a friend. Yeah. Eddie has lost credibility. The only ones who like him are the ones who suck up to him. So let's continue. Fast forward, they got called out for the bots and stopped. And everyone's viewership tanked. Okay. There's a couple different parts to this. But fast forward, they got called out for the bots and stopped. Everyone's viewership tanked, and most realized Kick was majority greedy creators chasing whoever donated the most. I don't know what the reference is here. Kick was majority greedy creators chasing whoever donated the most. I don't know what this is referencing. Is this referencing like the Neons, Jack Doherty's, Aiden Ross's, or is this referencing everybody on the platform and they're trying to just make their money off? I don't know. Does anybody have any ideas of what he's exactly referencing here? Because I don't know. It's not fully clear to me. The Aiden Rosses. You think he's talking about the Aiden Rosses here? I have no idea, to be honest. Yeah, no idea, to be honest. Interesting. Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think he's saying either the creators on Kick suck up to the bigger streamers, especially if they've given subs. Okay. So you're saying like okay, okay. Or is he trying to say that they bought streamers like XQC, Nick, etc.? But that's not unique to Kick though. Yeah, I don't really I can't really comment on this because I'm not sure exactly what he's referencing here. I don't really know what he's referencing. I have no idea. None. So yeah. But let's continue. Now we have a site that's been failing for months, and the staff and streamers who bleed green still act like nothing's wrong, even when no viewership will go to Kick due to no accountability. Okay. So we have a site that's been failing for months. Well, this kind of goes into the next spots here. Again, if we go to the stream charts, if we go to the stream charts here, I mean, yeah, of course the stream charts are going to be a little bit scuffed because ultimately, again, this number right here includes view bots. And if we scroll down to where is it? Right here. If we scroll down to in here, I mean, yeah, according to the average viewership, it's gone way up consistently every month besides October. But again, these numbers include view bots, so the reality is we don't actually have any idea if Kick has grown or not, right? Like legitly not view bot wise, right? We don't actually know how many views what is happening on Kick. We have no clue. We have no way of telling because Kick doesn't really do anything about the view bots. Therefore, all of these numbers are inflated because of the view bots, and we don't know. We have no idea. So, yeah, didn't Eddie tweet about 10 billion or something? Yeah, so Eddie tweeted about 10 or like 1 billion. He tweeted about 1 billion watch out right here. Right here. That Kick clocked in just over 1 billion hours watched. Okay. Yeah, over 1 billion hours watched. Ultimately, again, this number includes hours watched from viewbots and all that stuff. So I mean, yeah. I mean, again, when Kick announced like they have 20 million accounts, again, these view botters and stuff have over 2.5 million bots, 2.5 million accounts. So, yeah, you know, so anyways, I take that with a grain of salt, but he references this a lot here. Okay. He references this a lot, but we're going to continue. But anyways, again, based on the stats and stuff, supposedly it's growing, but at the end of the day, again, we have no idea. These number includes view bots, so we don't actually know what's happening, if it's actually growing or not. So yeah, billions not a lot really. You've been here since the start. This is the first stream I watched. What have you noticed in terms of growth? Um let's see. So with my channel, I've obviously seen growth, right? With my channel, I've obviously seen a lot of growth, but my channel's a little bit of an oddball out because I grew from Kick. But I have seen a decent amount of streamers actually grow from Kick, but the only ones that I see are based on the categories that I watch or that I tune into to check and see who's live and stuff. So I have seen people grow their stream from, you know, 3 to 4 viewers to, 40 viewer average, and people typing in chat as well, actual people typing in chat to reflect the growth in viewership. So I've seen some of it. I have seen some growth. But then I've seen other people not grow at all, right? They stay at their exact same and they don't grow whatsoever. So I don't know. I've seen kind of both sides of the story. I've seen people grow, I've seen some people not grow. So yeah, there's a lot more streamers on the platform, that's for sure. Yeah. I would be very critical of that number. They have a vested interest to over report. Oh yeah, of course, of course. What happens if Kick 2.0 releases? Are they going to come back and suck Kick? No. Of course, there will not be much hype around it with little updates. I would say it's grown streamer-wise with Korean streamers, OG YouTubers, etc. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, no. When Kick 2.0 comes out, I think, unfortunately, based on how they've done updates in the past and releases in the past, I think, unfortunately, Kick 2.0 is not going to really do anything crazy, sadly. I don't think Kick 2.0 is going to do anything super nuts. So yeah, I don't know if Kick 2.0 is going to actually bring anybody back to the platform. We would need something like truly revolutionary to bring people back who have left before. So yeah, dude said failing for months. Literally KCIP came out. Yeah, well, the KCIP program doesn't really relate to the platform failing because, every time Yuppy talk about ViewBot, somebody comes in and ViewBot him for thousands. There's a lot of streamers on the platform, that's for sure. I've been growing on YouTube. You have been growing on YouTube. I have seen that. Gambling streamers grew. Listen, I got a video in the works. I got a video in the works. It's about Kick, and it's a big boy. It's a big boy. Screw this, I'm going to Yahoo Gaming. I also somehow foreshadow ban on TikTok, boss. Oh, really? The ones that sit at the same number week after week is a bit sus. I've noticed some people who are seemingly in the in crowd who jump to a number and that number never goes up or down. I've seen that as well. Right? I've seen channels that it doesn't matter what category they go to, they will sit right at a bottom viewership. There's a viewership that they just will not go below. It doesn't matter what category they go to, right? At all. And I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but I will say that thankfully my channel's pretty decent, right? My channel's pretty decent with that. I mean, listen, if I go play squad right now, I'm going to drop down to maybe 20 viewers or less, maybe like 15 viewers. I will hit 10 viewers sometimes, depending on what I'm doing. So like my channel will die depending on where I'm at, but there's other channels that it doesn't matter what category they go in, they still, there's like this bottom viewer count number that they just will not go below. They will not go below. They start their stream very quickly, boom, up to that like bottom viewership, and that they just will never go below no matter what category. And that just realistically just isn't true. That just doesn't happen. It just does not happen. Viewer numbers are so sus for me, and it's everywhere. Action Man went from 600 viewers on Twitch to probably a good 5K real viewers on Kick. His community popped off on Kick. Yes, Action Man's community popped off on Kick. He grew a lot from Kick, but it also has to deal with the culture of Kick, right? Look at a majority of the Kick viewers, the Neon, Jack Doherty's, the Aiden Ross viewers, XQC viewers, excuse not, anyways. Look at Ice Poseidon, look at those kind of viewers. They love that kind of stuff, and Action Man did that kind of stuff. So he blew up like crazy, partially because of that as well. So yeah. But anyways, let's continue here. The reality is Kick is dying because of Eddie and his staff and nothing else. So Kick is dying because of Eddie and his staff and nothing else. So um again, Kick is dying. I want evidence. The evidence that he would probably reference here has to deal with the viewership going down, when ultimately we don't have complete proper evidence of the viewership actually going down, right? We don't have full on proper evidence of that going down. So is there any other reference point to Kick is dying here? He's known for financially supporting all creators who have been exposed for illegal activity or luring youth. Um, Yeah, so listen, the illegal activity has to deal with the Ice Poseidon situation, I would imagine, because Eddie was in that stream when the Ice Poseidon incident happened. There was no Kick response of it or anything like that. Ice Poseidon just got let go. Nothing happened because of it. So that's kind of, I believe that's what he's referencing here. Luring youth has to deal with that one YouTube video that was created on the creator here. And in that video, it was mentioned that, like the day after a major event, he gifted 100 subs, but ultimately Eddie did not know who the guy was. Okay, so this is taken a little out of context here, in my opinion. Again, reading the headlines without looking into it at all, is the way I read this here, because ultimately with this part here, we don't actually have full proof that he was supporting it. It was just, it seemed like in coincidence timing, and he had no idea who the heck the guy was. Okay, there's no way that Eddie can know every single streamer on the platform. Okay, but yeah, and then yeah, illegal activity. If he's referencing the Ice Poseidon situation with the escort, yeah, legally Ice wasn't in the wrong. Yeah, legally Ice wasn't in the wrong. It was just morally wrong a little bit, right? It was just morally wrong. So yeah, just some weird stuff going on there, right? Some weird stuff going on for sure, for sure. But again, he's known for financially supporting all creators who have been exposed. Again, dude, this is like very, very like far-fetched, right? Very far-fetched a little bit, but a little bit what? Legally, Ice wasn't in the wrong. Legally, Ice wasn't in the wrong. A lot of it was article bait. I watched that whole stream. What shocked me the other day was when a Biggie commented on the Penguins vid and said viewership was down. Wait, who said viewership was down? That's kind of a stretch, but I understand what he's referencing to. League of Legends category exploded with 10 Turkish streamers joining with 8K viewers after Twitch got banned in Turkey. Oh yeah, of course, of course. Where else would those streamers go? Twitch is unbanned in Turkey now. The platform is completely immoral, and Eddie and his team absolutely destroyed Aiden and Trainwreck's dream. The platform is completely immoral. I will say, yeah. I will say, yeah. A majority of Kick, view, or a majority of people outside of Kick view Kick as a platform that's got a bunch of terrible, just morally wrong stuff that happens on it. But ultimately, I think that's sort of the direction that Kick wants to go. To be honest with you, as long as it's not crazy illegal. I mean, it seems like Kick kind of allows it. It kind of seems like Kick just kind of allows it, right? And Eddie and his team absolutely destroyed Aiden and Trainwreck's dream. Yeah, I don't know about Aiden's dream. I mean, I just before I started the stream saw a clip on Twitter of Aiden Ross's stream where they were on call with these other with some kids, and these kids went up to a random door, screamed and banged on the door, and the guy came out with a baseball bat. Um I mean, like, just, um, yeah, I don't think this platform was really Aiden's dream at all. I think it was Aiden's dream in the aspect of if he becomes a partial owner of it, he has a good amount of immunity to what he can do, and he won't get in trouble for. Trainwrecks, on the other hand, I would say Trainwrecks was probably a bit more genuine. I would say a bit more genuine with it. So, yeah, they're never going to get ads. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of brands that just don't want to associate themselves with Kick at all, for sure. For sure. If Kick wants to go that route, that's fine to an extent. They just have to understand they'll forever be in a niche and will not be able to compete with Twitch in any real regard. And that's true. I will say that is true. Based on the business model that Kick wants to go about by having these way more lenient rules, unless Twitch shuts down, I don't think Kick can ever really like match Twitch, right? I don't think that they can ever really match Twitch. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, look at some of the biggest streamers in the world, right? Jinxie, Kai Cenat, XQC. Kind of look at those kind of streamers and stuff. They're kind of like, they cater to the masses, which right now the masses is the very younger audience, younger audiences. I mean, you're talking the 12-year-olds, the 13-year-olds that just got a phone for Christmas, even though they're not even supposed to be on these websites at 12 years old. Listen, brother, man, they were on these platforms since they were 10 years old because they got a phone from their mother, or father. You know, like, it just, and they love that ADHD type stuff, right? So ultimately, I mean, look at that. And the reason I bring that up is compare it. Twitch is kind of like that. Twitch has that kind of super ADHD, caters to the masses, which is a lot of children. More as if Kick is going down the, you know, business route of things, or not business, more mature routes of things, then they just don't cater to the masses. They just do not have enough numbers, which is why, again, I think Kick's marketing plan is completely wrong. If they want to go down that route, why are you targeting Twitch audience? Twitch audience doesn't want to watch this stuff. They're not used to this kind of content. There are a lot of the younger audience that wants that super high crazy thing, um, than anything. Otherwise, they come over here to watch the Aiden Ross, the Jack Dohertys, the people who are very ADHD, wildness for the immature audience. But it's either or. So why target them? Target an older audience. You got to target an older audience, right? But even then, it's still, you got to target the older audience that is still immature, pretty much. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Um, was he doing bad on Kick? What? Switch to any real guard. His community does him no favors either. Target the OF audience, Kappa. Bro, I seen something on Twitch yesterday that was pretty darn wild. That person had like 8K viewers and was doing some very interesting things. Big E, in a response to Penguin's Jinxie's tweet, he said viewership was down. Big E said viewership was down. Bad publicity could be good publicity. Let Twitch streamers talk about us, Kick streamers. Of course. Of course. The idea here that Kick kind of wants to go about is all publicity is good publicity, even if it's bad publicity. And in this instance, bad publicity spreads way more than good publicity. So because of that, if they focus on a lot of things that is bad publicity, they're going to grow a lot. I mean, they're going to grow a lot. So yeah. So it sounds like you're just making up reasons. Ice has never, bro. What are we talking about? I really only I really only come over to Kick to watch you or Poke, Legacy Mike. So my personal viewership is down. Okay. All right. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see. The platform is completely immoral, and Eddie and his team absolutely destroyed Aiden and Trainwreck's dream. Again, Aiden's dream is just to be able to do whatever he wants without having to ever face any repercussions for it. Trainwreck's, on the other hand, seems like he actually wanted to do something genuine, hence why he's also on hiatus. He's on strike from Kick. He will not stream on Kick until they do something about view botting, which in all reality, I don't think Kick really bothers too much with it. So yeah, we would need more people than just train wrecks. Viewership at an all-time low, yet Eddie the CEO is touting on socials about 1 billion minutes watched on Kick. Meanwhile, he won't admit that since the beginning of Kick. Admit what? He won't admit what? The viewership is at an all-time low. Of course he's, oh my god, I closed the tab. Of course he's not going to admit that the viewership's at an all-time low, because all they're going to reference is all they're going to reference are charts like these, right? That's all that they would reference is charts like these, where it says that they're growing exponentially. Right. That's all that they're gonna reference here and say, oh, well, look, in 2023, right? Every single day, every single month, the average viewership went up, right? That's all they're gonna reference. You know, they're not gonna, why would they say anything bad about it and admit it? They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. And then he goes on to say again up here, the viewership will go, wait, even when no viewership will go to Kick due to no accountability, which he references a little bit later here, saying that, oh, like they don't hold themselves accountable for viewership going down and stuff like that. And then that's why Kick is dying a bit. You what? You want Kick as a business to come out and say, hey, hey guys, the viewership is doing terrible. We're really sorry. We're going to do something about it. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Spend more money and hire someone else? Like, not much of a flex to mention 170K viewers, though. Of course, they're not bothered by it. It's been happening since the beginning. Kick can't accept its own reality, and neither can its creators. It's why we have seen a mass exodus of streamers from Kick, and viewership continues to fall as streamers is basically the only ones watching it in hopes of support for support. So again, they're saying that the viewership, the unique viewership is dying compared to streamers watching other streamers in hopes for support for support. Yeah, I mean, again, I mean, I don't disagree with what he's saying, but I also don't agree with it because I need evidence, man, right? If I'm going to form something, if I'm going to say something, I want to make sure that I have plenty of evidence to back that up. Do we actually have full on evidence that legit viewership, non-streamer viewership is going down? The other thing here too is that, is it really a bad thing that streamers are watching other streamers? But oh, they're watching in terms of support for sports. So you're talking about like, oh, well, these streamers who come in, they talk in the chat, maybe they'll post some emotes and stuff because they're trying to leech communities or viewers and stuff. Does that actually work? I mean, I haven't really seen it work very well. So is it really a valid method, or is it just the idea? Is it just the idea that people are wanting to do that? The whole got you locked in, homie crowd. Yeah. Yeah, the got you locked in, homie crowd. I mean, yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, I'll admit when I end my stream and stuff and I'm doing other things, I'll pull up maybe 1 or 2 streams on my other monitors, right? To help them. That's it. That's it though. I mean, and I'm going to admit to that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. Right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. But then you have like, opening 1,000 tabs while you're streaming and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that, but Kick has ads out to promote the platform. Viewership is so bad, and illogically, they picked creators who are immoral and have been exposed, and have been exposed. Um, so again, they're talking about just the ads and the creator incentive program and stuff like that. I think because there's been some ads with like partners and stuff like that. Um, Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I don't think he's saying that there is. He's saying he's mainly saying that's all you see. Interesting. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Then he goes on to talk about kick ads, and then they pick creators who are immoral and have been exposed. And then he goes on to talk about one drama thing that ended up happening here. Um, for whatever reason. Thankfully, he's still rocking hard as a streamer, but for real, Kick is a complete joke. But I don't feel bad for any creators still acting like it's the best platform in the world. Can't wait to watch them realize Kick can't float. But this guy's also talking about Rumble. But regardless, I mean, yeah, I mean, Kick is not the best platform. Kick is not. They have a long ways to go. There's a lot of issues with it. A lot of stuff happening all the time. Of course, right? Of course, but I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of this response here was like pretty jumbled all over the place with information and very, very, focused on personal opinions, but not enough evidence or examples to back it. Right, but then he goes on to this. This is the only reply that I'm going to go over, because Bang Lee said it's so depressing how right you are about this. Said facts. Honestly, I wish I wasn't. I loved Kick. I love its potential, but I know business well. I've been in the industry for ages. Okay. So there's a lot of people who have said this. This is nothing new, man. This is nothing new for me. Going over this stuff and reading this stuff about Kick, this is nothing new. Okay, and every person and their brother, okay, their grandma even. I see a tweet about this stuff, and it's always like, I know business well. I've been in the industry. I know I know and all this and that, and like, okay, I mean, all right, but still it doesn't with based on Kick's history, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. um it doesn't matter, even though there's 1,000 people who are like, I've been in the business for a long time and all this and that. I mean, you're trying to get brownie points based on what you say, what you talk about, right? That's the whole idea behind it. Try to get brownie points based on what he says, trying to back up his explanation here. But yet again, his explanation here has nothing to do with business. It's just, hey, Kick is dying. Eddie and the staff members are killing the platform. There's no evidence, there's nothing backing up any of it. Okay, but anyways, and watch platforms come and go and learning as many do's and don'ts as possible, which is true. There's been a bunch of platforms that have came and gone, with some making mistakes and stuff that should be learned from. And ultimately, there's a lot of history of things that can be learned from in terms of when Kick tries to develop things or progress into the future. But it doesn't seem like Kick really goes after that. I've gotten very good at trying to keep an open mind and look at the big picture and not just false hope. I don't know about that, but okay. Kick could still turn it around, and truly I pray they do. All right. However, with Eddie and the current staff, I just don't see it happening, as they have been very proud of the failing platform they are running into the ground. So basically what he's referencing here is that he thinks that Kick still could be something, but not with Eddie and the current staff. Like, you got to completely get rid of them. Not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Sadly. Well, not sadly, but it's just not going to happen. Okay. and the manipulative, disingenuous post. Which, again, what he's referencing here is this right here, the 1 billion hours watched. He's referencing this as the manipulative, disingenuous post. That's what he's referencing here. And the 20 million accounts, right? That's what he's sort of referencing. Okay. Again, gotta be honest with you. If you know business, then I find it kind of bizarre. I find it kind of bizarre that that's the thing, right? That like you find that manipulative and disingenuous. This is a business move, right? Do you want them not to post about this at all? Do you want them not to post about 20 million accounts? The reality is, yeah, there's over 20 million accounts. Whether they're legit or not doesn't really matter. The headline is 20 million accounts, right? 1 billion watch hours. In this post, he doesn't really discredit the 1 billion watch hours. He just says that they're talking about 1 billion watch hours when the platform is failing or dying. But at the end of the day, if there's actually 1 billion hours watched, according to the stats, even though it includes ViewBot watch hours, then it's not, it's literally true, right? It's true, right? What up, Girthy? I think he means that all Kick has to show success rather than anything tangible that appeals to more than, well, just Kick. I think he means that all Kick has to show success rather than anything tangible that appeals to more than, well, just Kick. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. You might have to reword that because I don't understand it. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Well, I've been in business for a long time too, longer than a good portion of streamers, maybe even half. So you have experience, but doesn't mean you should come to me for advice to begin a successful / be end all options. I'd be curious what the number would be without the bots and without the signed creators. Yeah, that's a great question, right? Like, how many hours watched without XQC, Aiden Ross, Jack Doherty, Convy, those kind of like streamers, right? Those big streamers. I wonder like how big of the platform, right? I'm curious how big of the how what those numbers would look like without them. I'm actually genuinely curious, but I don't think that there's a way to do that, to filter it, unless you do it manually, of course. All they have to show success is metrics of success. How else do you want to show success, though? Like, how else do you show success? Eddie went through and read all the comments. He liked my post at the bottom of the thread. Wait, what thread? This thread? Here? At the bottom of this? Like hyping a billion watch hours. Meanwhile, that since Kick launched and they ignored that viewership over 6 months, is that an all-time low? Or that all of those watch hours majority belong to 5 creators out of the entire platform. This I'll agree with. Ignored that viewership is at an all-time low over the past 6 months. Ultimately, that we don't have proper evidence. We don't have no way to fully prove that. Even because the stats technically say that it's grown, but we don't have actual proper thing. We just don't. But the majority belonging to 5 creators out of the entire platform, I will agree with that. A massive majority of this number, I would imagine, applies for that. Last summer, Aiden Ross already accounted for over 12% of minutes watched on Kick alone. All they have to do is have accountability for their own actions and their partners and vetted, verified users, and they refuse to. Wait, accountability for what? For what though? The platform dying? You want Kick staff to come out and say, "Hey, the platform is dying," or hey, these top 10 creators on Kick make up for 80% of the 1 billion hours watched. What accountability here? What are we talking about? What exactly? Because again, the accountability situation seems to be jumbled all over the place. I just want it more streamlined. I want to know exactly what you mean. For the all they have to do is take accountability for their own actions and their partners have vetted verified users, and they refuse to. And unfortunately for kick streamers in the community, genuine viewership don't get down with that and refuse to even look at kick because of it. A lot of people don't like to go to kick because of the junk that happens on the platform. Okay. um a lot of like people from the outside and stuff like that are like, they hear of kick and they're like, oh, that's terrible, right? That's terrible. I don't like that or whatever, you know. Ergo, kick is boasting about 20 million accounts, 1 billion minutes watch, as if it's some earth-shattering metric that'll entice people to come over. That's it. That it's a good move to come to kick. Oh, I see. So okay. So they're trying to say that they're saying that to try to get people to come over to kick. But it's a marketing tactic, right? It is a marketing tactic. At the 1 billion hour post, I know he's paying attention to the comments. Gotcha. So what I'm saying is my sense of humor. I think it was simple, and they just a milestone and made a post about it. Yeah, I think so. Great. It ate my comments. Yeah. Yeah. It's been eating our comments for a year now and counting. Yeah. Sent you the message. I tried the post. Hey guys, we're sorry about being so silent recently. That's our fault. We've been hard at work on 2.0 and we promise it'll be worth it. We've got a sneak peek. Blah, blah, blah. You get me? I think he wants posts like that. I don't think he wants a post like that. I don't think this guy wants a post like that. I think what this guy wants is a post saying, hey, the platform's viewership is going down. The platform is dying. We're stepping back, and get rid of Eddie and the staff team. I think that's literally what he's looking for here. And get a new group of people in there.
I teabag
right?
every last one of you alien motherfuckers.
Like, I think that's kind of what I think that's kind of his goal here of like what he really wants. I don't know. Yeah. That would never happen. Of course not. Of course that would never happen, right? That would never ever happen. But yeah. I and many others have had nothing but success since opening our eyes and ending our focus on kick. The reality is, honestly, no one's focus should be on kick. Not a single person's focus should be on kick in all reality. It should be on the outside. You know, it should be on the outside of kick. Okay. TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. If you're talking socials anyways, but otherwise, like Gerthy said, should be on yourself. Yeah, of course. Of course. Otherwise, it should be on yourself. If you're talking about creation and growth and stuff like that on social media, a streaming platform is the last. A streaming platform is the retirement phase of your content creation dreams. Okay, it is usually for most people. There are some exceptions. For me, it's a bit of an exception for me because again, my biggest platform is streaming. But ultimately, it should be another platform. Streaming is the retirement of content creation. Okay, it is. It just is, in my opinion. So, yeah. Otherwise, focus on yourself. Okay, here's the thing, man. I get myself worked up every now and then about stuff that Kick does because I'm very passionate about it. I want Kick to succeed and stuff. But at the end of the day, I get over it. Okay, because here's why. Here's why. I can sit here and worry about every single little thing that Kick does, but does it really kill me? Not necessarily. It is a bit worrisome for me because my main platform is Kick and my main income is solely Kick. I'm working on getting income from other places, but until then, anything that Kick does affects me a lot, of course, because I'm full time and I focus heavily on it, right? But until I get to that point where there's other incomes and stuff, then it's like, okay, well, it's not as worrisome for me. Okay. Um, you're putting all your eggs in one basket. Yeah. Well, I'm trying not to, but that's just the way it is because I grew from Kick. So ultimately, I'm posting content elsewhere and stuff, trying to grow elsewhere as well, but I can only do so much. It's possible, but it's not like he doesn't have good points overall. He does have some legit points. Oh yeah, there are some legit points in here, but it's kind of like all over the place, right? It's kind of like a lot of jumbled, um, all over the place. So yeah, um, so yeah. I mean, you're only streaming on Kick and not any other platform. Well, here's the thing. I can't like multi-stream. I can only multi-stream to TikTok and Instagram. I'm pretty sure. I think it's TikTok and Instagram. I can multi-stream to. Otherwise, I can't multi-stream anywhere else. And then it would be a big risk for me to like, you know, I don't know, do an 8-hour Kick stream and then go stream on Twitch for a couple hours, which I'd be allowed to do. Um, and try to do something on there and try to grow something on there. I don't know, right? That would be, or YouTube. That would be a little bit hard as well. Yuppy OnlyFan maple syrup covered feet pics when? Okay. Yeah, next. Yeah. I think he wants Kick to fail and openly admit to it because he didn't succeed on Kick. I mean, listen, I've seen some people succeed on Kick. They've moved over, they've succeeded. I've seen some other people not succeed on Kick, right? But I mean, look, this is the viewership comparison between Twitch and Kick right now, right? This is the English viewership comparison between Twitch and Kick right now. Kick is staying at like 8%. Kick doesn't really get over 10% lately. It just doesn't. Kick stays at below 10% of the English viewership compared to Twitch. But even then, again, I just want to reiterate that includes viewbots. Okay, that it does include viewbots. Of course, Twitch technically includes viewbots as well, but you know, you know. But I figured I would go over this post here and break it down a little bit. But I'm genuinely curious. I'm gonna say you're wrong. I have streamers I've met, but I've also pulled in other viewers across multiple social media platforms. Y'all need to stop depending on Kick itself so much and branch your brand out further. I had this conversation, the same conversation with someone on stream. Some rando clipped it and said I was crying about Kick. I'm glad it. Why does nobody do that with me, man? Why does nobody does that with me? No one. Like I do a lot. I talk a lot of like controversial stuff here. Okay. A lot of controversial stuff here on Kick. Okay. A little bit of stuff, opinions and stuff like that. Nobody clips me, man. Nobody clips me, man. And goes after me. Like, bro, that's just better publicity for me, man. I mean, I don't really care if somebody did do that. Nobody's, that's better publicity for me, man. Anyways, I'm glad I'm not the only one who sees it. This is probably my number one reason why I no longer want to stream. I streamed on Facebook for 2 great years and built an awesome community. Moved to Kick and my viewers came with me. I multi-streamed to Facebook and TikTok to bring my viewers to Kick. Some of my viewers do indeed stream themselves. I see in-growth daily and plan to hit the KCIP metrics. Yeah, interesting. Rumble video, bro. Why the heck are we even talking about? Well, I guess this guy's a Rumble partner or whatever. It's a Rumble partner or whatever. Yeah. Kick's niche is IRL gambling hot tub content, which is what some people are into. Rumble Video's long-term approach of advocating for free speech and high morals is undoubtedly the more sustainable and commendable path. Ooh. Oof. Normal Rumble user, I guess. Holy yeah, bro. What the heck, dude? Okay. I think Kick just needs more hype updates, not enough in big updates months. I think the people complaining about growth aren't making outside content. Well, here's the thing, the lack of communication, right? We don't know what's changing. We don't know what's going to change. We have no idea what's happening. We have no communication whatsoever. And when there's no communication, guess what happens? The community starts to lose their mind and they start to go wild. Because guess what? There's nothing. I think there's supposed to be a huge update today. Is there? Where'd you hear that? Where'd you hear that from? I haven't heard nothing about a big update. Leaked from Big E. Of course. Of course. Yeah, of course. I would be very surprised. I'd be very surprised if that actually happened. People need to put their energy into their streams slash selves instead of wasting all the energy and complain about the problems. Yeah, that's kind of referencing me. It's a target at me, but yeah. Why is it always jokers on this platform defending it the hardest? Can't count on Perp's comment. He came from Facebook Gaming. No crap, Kick is better. I think I already read that. Interesting.